Here are the test scores for the guy you filled out the form for. He scored a B minus. This guy is a risky bet. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
To be honest, he's unlikely to go very far in his career. He prefers to stay where things are comfortable and avoid taking strong action or standing out. When challenges or changes come, he's more likely to quietly back away than push forward.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When something goes wrong at work, he won't throw a tantrum or make a big scene. Instead, he will likely keep quiet about his troubles and pull away into his own world. He's not good at standing up for himself or finding solutions when stressed.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will think he's polite and easy to get along with because he avoids arguments and tries not to upset anyone. He doesn't pick fights or say harsh things, and he's more likely to stay quiet than cause trouble. He usually stays in the background, keeping peace rather than earning admiration or authority.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
He isn't the sort to get jealous or try to compete with you if you do well in your career. Instead, he's likely to quietly support you and not make a fuss about your achievements. You'll have peace, but sometimes you might wish for a little more excitement from his side.
What if you start earning more than him?
He is unlikely to secretly resent you or feel insecure if you earn more than him. He accepts things as they are and doesn't see money as a way to prove his worth. This means fewer fights but also not much pride or excitement.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is quite careful with money and likes things to be in order. You won't find him making sudden risky purchases or wasting money on things he doesn't need. This can bring a sense of stability and peace to the household.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and doesn't try to show off or act richer than he actually is. He's comfortable keeping things simple and avoids going overboard with spending, even if it's for appearances. You won't see him borrowing money for flashy things or trying to impress others with what he has.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is more likely to be careful and guarded than open handed and generous. He'll make sure basic needs are met and won't let anyone go without. But he isn't the type to go out of his way with gifts or unexpected help. If you hope for a partner who gives freely, both with money and warmth, you might find him a bit restrained.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He tends to be open and straightforward about money, not secretive or controlling. He likes things in order, so he will usually keep clear records and doesn't hide financial details from you. He isn't one to obsess over every rupee spent or try to control how you use your own money.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He believes in routines and keeping things neat, but he's not naturally the type to lead or take charge. So he may quietly fall into whatever roles feel most traditional or expected. If you ask for help, he won't argue or refuse, but he's unlikely to take the initiative on his own. You might find yourself doing more unless you speak up, since he tends to stick with what's already working rather than push for big changes.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to help if you ask him directly, but don't expect him to take charge or notice what needs to be done on his own. He prefers to stick to routines and be helpful in a quiet way, so he won't argue or refuse when you need a hand with chores or diaper duty. But without a request, he might just watch or wait for instructions rather than jumping in.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He rarely argues to prove he's right. Instead, he tends to avoid conflict altogether. When there's a disagreement, he's more likely to listen quietly and keep his thoughts to himself than push his own opinion. While this means you won't face harsh arguments or stubbornness, it can also feel like he isn't really engaging or trying to see things from your side.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he stays respectful and rarely loses his temper. Instead of shouting or saying hurtful things, he usually goes quiet and pulls away from the situation. You'll get peace, not drama, but sometimes you may wish he would share his feelings more directly.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he's not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. He usually keeps his temper in check and prefers to avoid conflict rather than let anger take over. If he does feel upset, he tends to stay quiet or walk away instead of creating a fuss.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He's more likely to quietly say sorry or agree than to blame you when something goes wrong. He does not like conflict, so he would rather keep the peace than argue about who is at fault. But you won't find him pointing fingers or making you feel guilty for issues at home.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he will respect your boundaries and understands that no means no. He doesn't like conflict or making anyone uncomfortable. So if you clearly say what you want or don't want, he will listen and back off without pressure or argument. You won't find him pushing you or ignoring your wishes. If you ever feel unsure, just speak up clearly. He responds best to direct and gentle words.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he is not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He understands that everyone has their own needs and moods, and he won't make a scene or take offense if you say no. Instead, he will quietly accept your wishes and give you space without sulking or pressuring you.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He values respect and keeping peace, so he would not use anything personal to hurt or embarrass you later. He prefers to avoid drama and does not like to stir up trouble, even in arguments.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's the kind of man who prefers stability and routine, so he is not easily distracted by other women. He values a peaceful and predictable life, and once he is committed, he is likely to stay loyal and not go looking around for excitement elsewhere. Flirting or chasing after others isn't really in his nature. He would rather avoid drama altogether.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he's not overpossessive or the type to act jealous or controlling. He values peace and doesn't like conflict, So you won't find him questioning your every move or getting upset if you spend time with friends or family. He does not feel the need to control what you do or who you talk to.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature isn't a cover for being controlling. He's more focused on keeping things calm and avoiding any drama rather than telling you what to do or controlling your choices. He's unlikely to make rules or limit your freedom.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is unlikely to take the lead or naturally see parenting as a true team effort. He prefers routines and keeping peace, so he may quietly go along with whatever roles are already in place. He won't argue if you want help, but he's also not going to step forward on his own.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't like arguments or raising his voice, so instead of shouting or punishing harshly, he'll likely respond with quiet reminders or just walk away from the situation for a bit. Calm correction is his usual style.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
Yes, he will quietly support your role as both a mother and your own person. He won't pressure you to give up your interests or dreams for the sake of the family, and he respects your independence. He's not the type to compete with you or make you feel guilty for wanting time for yourself outside of motherhood.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not likely to support your career now just to ask you to quit later when a child comes along. He isn't controlling or the type to change his tune once situations change. In fact, he's comfortable letting you decide for yourself and doesn't want to cause conflict about your choices.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to be polite and respectful to your parents rather than truly warm and affectionate. He knows how to keep things peaceful and will always greet them nicely, follow customs, and avoid any arguments or disrespect. Still, you can trust him to always show good behavior and never create trouble with your family. He will try to adjust to your family rather than expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
He will handle family stress or interference calmly, not by making things worse. He prefers to keep peace and avoid heated arguments. So, if your family causes drama or steps in too much, he's more likely to stay quiet, keep his distance, or walk away rather than stir things up. He won't add fuel to the fire, and you can count on him to avoid harsh words or outbursts.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He is more likely to quietly expect you to follow traditional ways in front of his relatives, even if he doesn't say it out loud. At home with you, he may be relaxed and not very demanding, but when it comes to family and society, he prefers to avoid conflict and keep things smooth by sticking to what everyone expects. He won't force you harshly, but you might notice him feeling uncomfortable if you break old customs in front of others.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than openly support you or side with his family. He wants to avoid conflict and keep peace, so he may quietly withdraw instead of speaking up for you or taking sides. He won't work against you, but don't expect him to jump in and defend you loudly either.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He's not openly a mummy's boy, but he does prefer to keep peace rather than take strong sides. If there's a conflict between you and his mother, he's unlikely to stand up boldly for you, but he also won't go against you. Most often, he will quietly stay out of the argument, hoping things sort themselves out.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values peace and keeping things orderly, so he prefers to keep personal matters private rather than involve others. This helps protect your privacy and keeps trust strong between you both.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all we know about him, this guy is a B minus. This guy is a risky bet from a relationship perspective. Being in a relationship with him is steady, calm, and predictable. You'll never feel crushed by drama, harsh words, or jealousy. Life moves along quietly with routines and a sense of order.